2019 has been an interesting year, full of amazing titles and spectacular disappointments alike. It may be early, but the season of reveals and hype trailers is pretty much here. To celebrate the upcoming announcements, let's take a look back at video game reveals that impressed us over the years, in both good ways and bad. The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, E3 2016. 2014 saw an announcement trailer confirming that a new Zelda was coming to the Wii U. We didn't have a name and the Switch wasn't even announced at the time. At E3 2016, however, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild was finally unveiled. The world of Hyrule was gorgeous, massive, and more expansive than ever before. Link would emerge hopping, gliding, and riding his faithful steed across the landscape, embodying the sense of adventure that's defined many classics in the franchise. Fortunately, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild lived up to and surpassed expectations when it released. Final Fantasy VII Remake, E3 2015. Square Enix had teased and burned us a number of times when it came to Final Fantasy VII. Every time a new announcement was made or rumor emerged, we always hoped that a remake would be coming. At E3 2015, a mysterious trailer was revealed and eventually gave way to teasing Barret and Cloud, two key characters from the classic RPG. Except they were rendered in contemporary graphics. Square Enix didn't leave us hanging this time. It outright confirmed that Final Fantasy VII Remake was happening. Now, as for where it is currently, we're still waiting for more information. Shenmue 3, E3 2015. Could you name one sequel that seemed more unlikely of actually releasing than Shenmue 3? The first two games were flawed, but represented significant advances in the realm of quick-time events, dynamic living worlds, and attention to detail. They weren't financially successful, though, and the franchise was confined to the past, until creator Yu Suzuki appeared at Sony's E3 2015 presser to not only announce Shenmue 3, but confirm that it would be funded through Kickstarter. It's currently scheduled to release this year in August, and while expectations are still somewhat tempered, the announcement taught us that any sequel is pretty much possible in this day and age. Metal Gear Solid 2, E3 2000. There are classics awaited every console generation, and no matter how doubtful each new console launch may seem, there's always that assurance of upcoming quality. Before the PlayStation 2 launched in the West in 2000, we saw a hint of that quality in the E3 trailer for Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty. Expectations were sky high following the brilliant first game, and the trailer didn't disappoint, showcasing new mechanics, jaw-dropping visuals, shocking returns, and much more. Then again, we wouldn't know the full extent of the game's mind-melting madness until it finally released in November 2001. Death Stranding, E3 2016. Unlike with Metal Gear Solid 2, there wasn't really any set expectations from Hideo Kojima after his departure from Konami in 2015. His development team delivered a memorable, albeit cliffhanger, finale to the saga of Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. Before that, Kojima terrified us with the demo for PT in 2014. What in the world could he possibly offer next? At E3 2016, Death Stranding was our answer. Dead sea life, invisible monsters, and Norman Reedus holding a baby, ominous beings in a desolate landscape. It was a surreal experience, to say the least. Half-Life 2, E3 2003. When you talk about surreal, though, the extensive Half-Life 2 demo from E3 2003 was nothing but. It was odd to suddenly see the sequel revealed, but showcasing so much footage of the physics-based gameplay, intelligent enemy AI, excellent facial animation, and the wonders of the gravity gun made it one of the best reveals of the show. Even if Half-Life 3 never releases, Half-Life 2 still presents a triumph in game design. Cyberpunk 2077. Contrary to many of the titles at E3 2018, Cyberpunk 2077 made its greatest impact behind closed doors. Select publications got to see a 45-minute work-in-progress gameplay demo, and impressions were glowing to say the least. In response to fan requests, CD Projekt Red decided to stream the entire gameplay demo last year. We saw the various skills, augmentation, world design, graphical fidelity, and so much more in incredible detail. While we were constantly reminded that the final game could change, this was everyone's first real look at Cyberpunk 2077, and it was good. Diablo 3 Blizzard Worldwide Invitational 2008. The development of Diablo 3 began in 2001, just a year after Diablo 2 players were still feeding their addictions. While it would eventually suffer a bad launch, questionable design decisions like terrible loot drops, and so on, that initial reveal at the Blizzard Worldwide Invitational in 2008 in Paris stuck with us. It was a long time coming and a reminder to fans that Diablo was still there for them, which is kind of foreboding given the future. Doom Eternal, QUAKECON 2018. We crave complex stories and interactions in our video games, but we also want games like Doom Eternal to just pile on the violence. The first gameplay reveal at QUAKECON 2018 did just that, welcoming us with more gore, more glory kills, and more blades than we ever hoped for. The enhanced movement, courtesy of the grappling claw and double jumping, was all the more incredible on PC. The Last of Us 2 PlayStation Experience 2016. It's crazy to think that for all the reveals Sony had at E3 2016, its biggest reveal would actually be at PlayStation Experience 2016. We were treated to a lush, unsuspecting forest that could have been anything, before the familiar Firefly sign was visible on a signpost. Eventually, a house full of fresh corpses would lead to Ellie, all grown up and playing the guitar before swearing revenge. Since then, The Last of Us Part 2 has gone from one powerful reveal to the next. Hopefully, this year marks its release. Anthem, E3 2017. Before Anthem's reveal at E3 2017, BioWare had a lot to prove in the wake of Mass Effect Andromeda. What we got was a cutting-edge, gorgeously animated gameplay demonstration, along with a looter shooter that hinted at the extensive world-building that the company was famous for. Even if it wasn't a traditional single-player campaign with party members and focused more on shooting, Anthem still gave us hope for the future. It's a good thing it didn't all come crashing down at launch, right? Diablo Immortal, BLIZZCON 2018. Say what you will about mobile gaming, but Diablo Immortal being announced as a mobile exclusive title was only part of the problem at BlizzCon 2018. Coming off several months of hype from Blizzard and years of anticipation from fans, it was the main event of the opening ceremony. The reveal, coupled with the revelation of NetEase's involvement, and Blizzard stumbling over whether fans had phones or not, was mind-blowing in its tone deafness. Diablo Immortal might be a good game, but many hardcore fans felt that Blizzard was out of touch with what they really wanted. The Division, E3 2013. Tom Clancy's The Division was announced way back in E3 2013, and the visuals on offer were unlike anything we've seen. Featuring an insane amount of detail and enhanced lighting effects, The Division was our first real look into the capabilities of next-gen consoles. Unfortunately, the final game didn't look close to this demo. Heck, even the latest entry, The Division 2, doesn't look as good as the original concept. Watch Dogs, E3 2012. At E3 2012, Ubisoft announced a brand new, somewhat unexpected IP called Watch Dogs. This open-world action-adventure was startling in its details. Wind interacting with clothing, strong texture details and alpha effects, and so on. The reveal also gave us hints of the kind of vigilante justice that Aiden Pierce would dole out in a world brimming with possibilities. If anything, we expected things to only improve, which they didn't, but that initial reveal sure teased some amazing potential. No Man's Sky. Hello Games wasn't a company that was expected to deliver a procedurally generated space exploration title with limitless planets to explore. When it announced No Man's Sky at the Spike VGX Awards in 2013, however, we were treated to this gorgeous-looking, massive title seemingly out of nowhere. The post-rock soundtrack accentuated the mood all the more. This was the precursor to the title's crazy hype and disappointing launch, make no mistake. Fortunately, No Man's Sky has since surpassed the vision of its initial reveal, with plans to incorporate pseudo-MMO multiplayer in the coming months. And that about does it for this video. If you enjoyed what you watched and want to see more from GamingBolt, please hit the subscribe button. Also, don't forget to switch on the notifications bell icon next to it. That way you'll never miss any of our videos. Thanks for watching.